I wanted to empower people like myself to give them simple tools to find out what they can do in a relationship with someone who's extremely narcissistic. So I integrated the research on couples therapy and relationship change and change in narcissism. There's research on change in narcissism to come up with what I call empathy prompts. Empathy prompts are simply a two-stage process where you affirm the relationship of the person that you're with, and then you state your most vulnerable feelings. And I'll give you an example, but first I have to give you some stop signs. What are the stop signs? With any of the strategies in this book, when you're talking about seeing if there's hope in a relationship, you have to be aware of danger. So the three stop signs I point out in Rethinking Narcissism are first, emotional and physical abuse. It doesn't matter if emotional and physical abuse are caused by alcoholism or gambling addictions or narcissism. If the person is abusing, they're the ones who needs to stop. They need to stop the behavior first. That's in their hands. If they're not getting help with that, you need help figuring out whether or not how to leave the relationship and how to get the best support you can. Same with denial. Anybody who's in denial of their problems, someone's in denial, they're not going to change. That's reason to get help figuring out what your next steps are, maybe leaving. Psychopathy is a pattern of remorseless lies and manipulation. Somebody who you catch them in an affair, or you catch them in other deceit, without flinching, they get out of you, can be a sign of psychopathy, and that's a notoriously bad indicator when it comes to people who are extremely narcissistic. I have very little hope for relationships like that. So, but if you don't see those stop signs, you might try empathy prompts. If I was aware of this at the time, I might have tried an empathy prompt with my mother along the lines of, Mom, I love you. I care about you so much. You're so important to me. And I just feel so alone and overwhelmed in this task of taking care of your move after dad is gone. I just feel completely alone, and I so need you to be a part of it. That is an empathy prompt. First, you're telling the person they're important to you, and then you're speaking, really you're hurt from a very vulnerable place. People who are capable of empathy at all melt when they hear empathy prompts, and it speaks volumes about them if they don't. So this is just one example. I give many strategies in the book. This is how I found my voice. And really my recommendation is if you don't see those stop signs and you're trying to figure this out in a relationship, you give it a couple of weeks, 3 weeks. And if you see no softening at all, the person can't apologize or they can't say, oh, I'm sorry, I understand that would hurt you. That's when you move to, again, okay, I need to get help thinking about what my next steps are here. Maybe it's leaving. So just to cap off, the rethink here is narcissism is in all of us. It's a pervasive, universal human drive. What drives people to become disordered, narcissistic personality disorder, extremely narcissistic, is that incapacity to depend on others when they feel vulnerable. And instead they turn to feeling special like a drug to soothe themselves.